Welcome back. My guest is...
Don't repeat what he said.
Okay, I will not. I will not. They've started the interview already. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Welcome back. You're watching Checkpoint. Your usual political pundits are here in studio as we take a look at the politics of the week. Gabriel Muduma, Ambrose Weda, gentlemen, always a pleasure to see you. Still sitting in for Linda Ogutu.
Thank you.
And,
It's a pleasure having us. It's amazing.
Yes, great to see you. A lot has happened this week from Wiper, NDC, and we saw what happened there.
Indeed.
And One Kenya Alliance is still, still really making headlines on what really would be the direction this force will take.
It's no longer headlines, by the way, guys. Huh?
What
it's no
is
longer
it?
headlines. No,
What
I think
is
they're doing the right thing.
Which is
I think they are heading in the right direction. Now, if you hear them, they have a message. They've actually started, talking the language of the voter. And like I told you, remember what I kept telling you?
Yeah.
The mathematical chance?
Yes.
This is how you create it. This is how you make it bigger. This is how, as a matter of fact, you earn respect from the other people you're running against.
So what was the turning point for them?
Well, I think really after the NDC and their meetings, I think in Bungoma, you saw how it was.
Yes.
And the very fact that they've kept pushing back that, listen, we are not anybody's project, we are not listening to, we are heading to the ballot. And I know, when it gets to that point where they must choose the pair, maybe a little bit dicey, but if they pass that Rubicon, then I think.
All right. But looking at the NDC, sorry about that, looking at the NDC and the presence of Raila Odinga, it got a lot of tongues wagging on just could Kalonzo Musyoka and Raila Odinga be gravitating towards each other? Could this be another rebirth of NASA, just a grander coalition than what there was in 2017?
Yeah, I think, thank you for having us this evening. I think we love reading big things into very basic, ordinary things we do. You have seen the trend that when somebody has an NDC, the other colleagues come.
Correct.
So from there, you don't interpret it like Raila went to this NDC. And these people are friends. These people have worked together. These people have been together. And they're facing one common threat. Annihilation threatened by the chief chicken seller. Burial. He is going around, he wants to bury them. Their political careers which have been emanating years. He wants to bury it. So these people, they have a common cause, they have a common fear, they have a common strategy. It is only that in between, some of them are saying, no, I should have been the one running. We backed you, you need to back us.
Yeah.
We were together, you need to be here. But otherwise, they have a zinc. They have been together. They can easily come together. And I've always said, the moment they are sure that the chief chicken seller, Sir William Doctari, is going to send them to retirement, they will actually unite without preconditions. They will simply say, where is the formula? The salvation formula. And it will come. Secondly, if you look at Baba, Honorable Raila Odinga, where there's crowd, he knows how to appear there and to look larger than life and to look very nice. Not because he loves Honorable Kalonzo so much. He goes there because there's a crowd, there's a people, and he wants to create a good impression. Even if Honorable Musalia Mudavadi was to hold the one for ANC, he will be there, and he will go there, and he will come there triumphantly.
But how does it sit with their supporters? These are the very people who've said this time round we are not going to support this guy. This time round we've supported him too many times. How does that sit with their supporters?
Now, it is not the first time that those stories are being said. It's not the first time those swearings are being done. It's not the first time they are vowing, now I will never support. It is about the reality on the ground. Ordinarily, me and you and Muduma here, we would actually like to be the fifth, the next president. I want to be the next number fifth president after Uhuru. And I know Muduma wants. The difference, the problem, reality on the ground. That is why now we go behind people. But if it was that free and fair open and we are the supporters, I'm telling you, I will not take my keys to Honorable Raila or to Honorable Mudavadi or to the chief chicken seller. I would just go and open status and say, hi, wananchi wa Kenya watukufu, now your president is talking. So the reality on the ground will make them say, now, gentlemen, which one is the working formula? And remember, these are consummate politicians. People who have held high offices. They have not just held high offices out of miracles from wherever. They have carefully worked, strategized, moved, and they know what it takes to reach where. So now they want to see first, where is the son of Jomo? Where is he? Because it is only the son of Jomo.
Isn't that clear yet? Haven't there been any clear indications?
Just let me finish. It is only the son of Jomo, you think, whose father's statue is behind the currency. Only that one. So you need him on your side. Then he also, at Kasarani, we also gave him a sword. That sword can cut. So they are looking at that. And they are also looking at what is on the ground. And that will determine which direction.
Gabriel, come in.
No,
Isn't it clear who the president
I have some divergent views, and you're right. I mean, it's clear already, every person who, the people who mattered, every person who supported the president actually in Honorable Raila's Odinga's camp. And, it's understood that, probably that is where, the chips of our president may actually fall. If we just go by what we are seeing. So we can actually conclude that's where the president is going to throw his weight behind Honorable Raila Odinga. But, needless to say, I think this time round, Wakili, I think the more things change, the more they remain the same in politics. And I see 2007 repeating itself. I'm not talking about the skirmishes, no. I'm talking about where Honorable Kalonzo went. You remember? In fact, he went all the way to the ballot. And he actually raised his stake. And I think, would that be what our One Kenya Alliance are doing, to just raise their premium? It may be that, but I stand corrected. But I think on this one, they may go all the way to the ballot. Now, you've had their town supporters who have come and said, guys, listen, you people must be together. And if you don't, we will leave you. Malala just said it in Bungoma the other day.
Because they also have their own political interests.
Exactly. And in Ukambani, Kalonzo Musyoka has received the same treatment. Now, I can understand him looking and saying, we must put our premium high. And if this means going to the ballot, then they must stand to be corrected on the side of truth and say, come what may, we will go there to the ballot. Would rather not get it, but we are going to stand strong. And by the way, should it happen that any person coming in, if not them, trust me, I think they would have raised a very high premium, because this is the time. Kalonzo raised his premium, and what happened out of it? He became the vice president. Now, would he have become, and this is something we need to think about, Wakili, would he have become the vice president if he had not gone or he had done what he did? So I think that premium paid a price. Is this the same thing that they are trying to...
But then you're talking about what, four gentlemen now?
No, at the end of the day, they have to get it right. At the end of the day, they have to get it right. Now, I'm not so concerned about what people are saying, somebody inviting another leader or somebody inviting Honorable Raila Odinga to their NDC. No. You may recall in 2017, during the re-election, the president actually hopped to almost all these smaller parties. He went to Wiper, not to Wiper, he went to Chap Chap. Yeah, he was well received at Kasarani, at Martha Karua's party. He went to Kanu, So I don't think it's...
You're reading too much.
I don't think that really matters. I mean, like Weda has said, these people are still friends. But what I think, in my own opinion, I think the One Kenya Alliance have actually raised their stakes. They have put a very big premium. And I hold the view that they are going all the way to the ballot.
Weda, I should ask this. How do you balance the interests of the foot soldiers who have now, as Muduma says, have come out very strongly? If you go this way, we will not support you. Vis-a-vis what is the winning formula, a working formula, with the threat that they're already facing from the other side. How do you balance this out?
My sister, I don't know these soldiers you are talking about.
You know them.
Let me assume
them by name, Weda.
That you are talking about Wanjiku, the supporters of the big guys. Wanjiku is like potatoes in a gunia. You carry them, where you place them, where their leader places them, they will fit very well. If you now see the enthusiastic manner in which the Luo nation receives and adopts and loves President Uhuru, you'd be shocked that they went to my home and burnt my things just because I was supporting Uhuru. I was not even a candidate. According to them, I was betraying the community. I'm a betrayer. I'm bad. Mutu ya tumbo. And I used to tell them, if you want this power from what I've seen, this Tialala T-beam works well outside. But here, there are other aspects. Come near. And they have seen that when they are near, things flow smoothly. And you gain status. So Wanjiku will line up as soon as the leaders line up. They will talk. And a good leader should not be the one always Wanjiku, Wanjiku, Wanjiku. Because those people, they are supposed to vote for you, but you are supposed to give them direction.
Right.
I look back 2013. You understand, Muduma? If I had remained in ODM, I would have been the MP for Seme. Even now, if I went back to Raila, none would defeat me down there. But I told them I make choices, I make friends, and those friends, I stay with them because it's God who has given them to me. And now some of them are saying, we think you are right. So these leaders are not looking at what Wanjiku was saying. They'll give Wanjiku direction. The Musalia will give Wanjiku direction. Honorable Kalonzo will give Wanjiku direction. Honorable Uhuru will do that. That is what has happened before. Before we used to say that there is no way the Kalenjin can vote for the Kikuyu. None whatsoever. After the 207 skirmishes, isn't it? They went together. And 2013, not even after 10 years, 2013 together, they voted together, 2017. Right. There was a time we used to say, there is no way a Luo can back with the Kikuyu. We can't vote together. These Kikuyus, they are blah, 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 blah. When Raila came in 2002 and said Kibaki Tosha, we said, in fact, Kibaki has been sent by God. So don't worry, and I know they're not worried about Wanjiku.
So then, let's talk about sentiments like for Senator Malala. We've also seen members of parliament or politicians generally from Wiper Party saying, Kalonzo, if you support Raila, we will not support you. Let's talk about the interests herein from these members of parliament and senators who also have ambitions in their various localities.
Now, for now, if somebody in Kakamega or somebody in Cumberland who is in Wiper Party close already and Kalonzo is running as president, it is a lot easier for them to win because you just grab that ticket. Whether you buy it, whether you steal it, whether it is given to you, whatever you get it, you say, we are going to give Honorable Kalonzo power. We are helping Baba in Nairobi. We are fighting. Now, if they form something like NASA, they form something like the original Code, where there are many political parties, but one presidential candidate, then some of these leaders are at a disadvantage.
Exactly.
Why? Because I will stand on Wiper ticket and tell the people in Seme constituency or Kisumu County that we are all supporting Raila. And unless Baba comes and say, no. And this has happened. Take, for instance, Kisumu Town West, where our Kili Honorable Lagal Watch is the member of parliament, the member of National Assembly. He is on Ford Kenya ticket, Wetangula's ticket. You understand that? But he's supporting Baba. And why is it there? Not that he wanted to leave ODM or he has no problem with ODM. He loves Baba, his own ODM. But the shenanigans in the ODM, they make sure you don't get the ticket. So some of these leaders who are saying, no, you have to run, some of them are simply saying, so that they're assured of going back. They do not look at the wider picture, because at the end of the day, there's the wider picture, but at home, they say politics is local.
There's a point that I want us to execute, and I don't want Weda to run away with it, because sometimes I don't believe in it. You remember when you say that when the leader says, everybody will follow. Sometimes it doesn't work like that. You remember sometime in 2013 or thereabouts, when it became apparent that the current president, His Excellency, went back to his people and said, you know what, I think, these people have said this is the man who needs to run. And I think that man who needed to run was Honorable Musalia Mudavadi. What did the people tell him? Same sentiments, the likes of Senator from Kitui, same sentiments you're hearing from Malala. They went back to the president and told him, listen, this is the way. This is where we want you. And guess what? He had to follow. Most of the time, things have shifted from what, we've always believed, from the traditional way of doing things. And the people are now telling the leaders, listen, you came to us. You told us 1, 2, 3. All right? You did this. We supported you. We've been with you all this journey. Now you're telling us something different. And that's why you start losing your people. So what they are telling Kalonzo Musyoka, what they are telling Musalia is that you have supported Baba all this time. Through and through. You've been honest to him. You have pushed him, the whole shebang. But as it sits, the agreements that he had there before was if he doesn't get it, then he'll support one of you. Right. Is that what is happening? I don't think so. And that's why they are reminding him, Hapa, we are following what you told us. And if you do not go with what you said, then we will look for other options. Now, the one thing that has to be clear is this, and so that we don't also get lost in this political hula-baloo, I feel both Kalonzo Musyoka and Honorable Musalia Mudavadi are really eyeing in to see who does Honorable Raila Baba, who does he pick as a running mate? There is a high chance that he may pick somebody from Central. There is also a high chance that Deputy President William Ruto may also pick somebody from the mountain region. And if that does happen, then actually it gives strength to OKA to say, hey, we are nowhere in the equation. And this is politics. So what they will do, and that's why I think on this one, I think they are going all the way to the ballot, is because that's how you raise your premium. And whatever happens, somebody will need those numbers. If we go with the current parliamentary settings, if we go with the same Senate settings, you will actually need to coalesce other people who probably are not with you in the same ticket, so that you can actually have your manifesto, have your bills pass through Parliament or the Senate. So you're going to need support from without your party. So if that is going to be very clear, then Akisa Wandera, I can assure you, these gentlemen from the One Kenya Alliance, they have known how to play this game, and they're just raising their stakes in matters political expediency. And by the way,
Wenda doesn't seem to believe you. He reacts later.
Let me tell you, he knows I'm right. He knows I'm right. He just wants to be politically correct, but he knows I'm right.
Let's get this thing very clear. He is saying that Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka went all the way and raised his stake.
He did.
Now, let me explain this to you. There was a point at time in this country when the most popular politician, the one viable for the presidency, was Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka.
That's true.
In fact, we felt, and even Honorable Raila, and I remember Oburu Dinga himself saying, if Kibaki is playing, we'll give him this Kalonzo, and he will defeat him. In fact, because of miscalculation, Kalonzo is still going round. Had he just remained even under Raila as his running mate, they would have taken the seat in 2007. Raila would be on his way out today, and Kalonzo would be coming in. So when you say he raised his stature, after he slipped in between, he then acquired the title. I'm not saying the derogatory title people say, Mr. Melon. And that has made his political career wobbly. People say, Kalonzo, you can't trust him. And because even when Kenyans were fighting, he passed in between. So when now people were negotiating, he was not even taken into account. Even when he joined Kibaki, he went there alone. Kibaki did not tell him, okay, now we are sharing government with you, me and you and who and who. He just went there alone. He didn't bring him. He was not even given other cabinet positions.
No, he was.
So which ones? So when you are talking about...
You're forgetting the likes of Katuko. I mean,
we are not senior people.
Oh, come on. Now, I mean, it's not the senior people.
You see, he went there alone.
He didn't go alone.
When he came out, when he came back, because you look at the history, when he came back, what happened? He had now to come and play second fiddle is that growth where you are vice president, you're supposed to take over, you're now coming to say, Honorable Raila Baba, let us work together, these people are very bad. So what I'm saying, these people may not all go to the, I don't see them going up to the ballot. Not because they don't want to go to the ballot, but the chance that if they went to the ballot, if Musala goes to the ballot, it will take over some votes.
All right.
Kalonzo will take.
Okay.
And Baba will take, and it will leave the chief chicken seller going for a runoff, but as number one. With the propaganda and money and so on, his chances of taking over the presidency is very high. If
That's true.
Do this. So this will make these people combine. I don't see the son of Baba Moi, Sir Gideon. I don't see him because he seems to be budgeting ahead. He's looking at 10, 15, 20 years. He's now shoveling, building himself. And being a brilliant politician and son of a politician, he knows which moves to make.
All right.
And he will basically...
I want to throw something else in the works before you comment on that.
Yes.
Because it happened this week, One Kenya Alliance teaming up with the Mount Kenya Forum, led by Martha Karua. I want us to take a look at what she said before we get back to that.
2022 elections.
We came together to explore possibilities of working together. We belong to Kenya, and none of us can do it alone. So that's what today's meeting.
Is this the beginning of the making of a grand coalition?
It could actually be. It could actually be. That's why I keep telling Weda, don't count these people out. You know? And you know, Akisa, we are sitting in an environment that me and you never thought would happen. The handshake. It happened.
We all didn't see it coming.
Exactly. So don't count. You know, Weda has this thing of counting things out, and I know he's so against One Kenya Alliance, but let me tell you what, these things happen, and they do happen. So I still believe the way they are coming in, the way they are grouping themselves, as you've put it correctly on that newscast, it is a game plan. So they have a game plan. They know that if they execute it properly, not only will they raise their stakes, they can actually have a skin in the game. And that is what they want. They want to be, you know, up there. When we are counting everybody else, when we are counting Sir William Ruto, they are there. When we are counting Honorable Raila Odinga, they are also there. And that's how you build. By the way, that's how you build your political
Muduma, I should ask this, because among the people who spoke in that Wiper NDC is TJ Kajwang, and he said, if this time round we want you people to get us out of opposition, and he repeated it, and there was a lot of clapping in the room, and it's alluding to the same thing that Weda keeps saying. He said it last Sunday as well, the risk of being sent to retirement by William Ruto. So what will be more important for them, raising their stakes or saving their political careers?
You see what Bonaweda said earlier on. He said, you know, the reason why, and I tend to agree with him, the reason why people have created this mistrust with Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka is because he does not have a stand. Now he has taken a stand. Earlier on, a while back, he said he actually went ahead to say he would be mad, literally crazy, to follow Honorable Raila Odinga again. He's called his NDC, and the whole place was packed. What is he trying to put up there? He says, and I mean politically speaking, saying, I am my own man. I told you guys I'm going all the way. And I think with One Kenya Alliance, all they need to do is to play their mathematics right. Now, if we are going to be diligent in analyzing this situation, you have to give them a point for trying to discuss togetherness. Now, truth be said, it's not a position that I'm going to hold fervently, because like, it's politics. They can get to a point and say, hey, nyewe, we'll give Sir William an easy ride. But then again, what are we bringing to this coalition that we build? Last time it didn't go the way we wanted. What kind of surety do we have that once we make it, that we will not be, you know? So whatever they are doing, they are not sure that it will, all the ducks, their political ducks, will be swimming in a row. So this is where you say, where do I feel? Like most people are saying, where do they feel safe? So this is something that they must sit together, and I do not fail to see how they will not sit with these two individuals. They could be talking for all intents and purposes. You could find that they are actually talking to Honorable Raila, and Honorable Raila is reaching out to them. You could find as well that they are talking to Honorable William Ruto. Honorable William Ruto is reaching out to them. When politics become to where we are heading, and by the way, it has not gotten murky yet. You wait until they select their running mates. You will see something's over, because everybody will be designated to a place where they have to raise their stakes. What they've done now, One Kenya Alliance, is to say, I think we need to remain together for the longest. And they have pointed to the ballot, saying that we will come up with a formula. We will come up with a formula. And by the way, they can even start sharing positions. It's not, and say, we are among common friends. We've been played before. Let us stick together. I mean, if we are sent to retirement, sometimes,
how many positions are there to be shared?
Exactly. They said, if we are sent to retirement, even though this is not what we want, so be it. Is that a risk they are willing to take?
It's a matter of wait and see.
Or will they continue talking to the person where they feel the wind is going? That's something else. Do not, Bwana Wakili, do not count these people out. They are very good sometimes when it comes to interpreting where things are going. Sometimes they may not get it, sometimes they may. But on this one, I think, given the fact that Wakili said they are steering close to retirement, I think they'll make the right choice. On this one, I can bet.
What does a grand coalition formation look like for you? That will be a winning team.
I think I see President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta Wangena looming behind the shadows, looming large. You have seen that silhouette, night, that one. But there is Honorable Raila Odinga as candidate. Now the remaining period can say, I see him as candidate. The question which will have to be resolved quickly is on the running mate.
Correct.
And that is a very tricky question for Honorable Raila. Why? If he does not speak Honorable Kalonzo, the Kambas will be very unhappy with him. And they will think this is very bad. If he does not persuade Honorable Kalonzo, Musalia Mudavadi to be his running mate, again, the lawyers, and they're already angry. And there are people will say, we told you. So that will be, there will be some disquiet among the supporters, which will require a lot of work. That then means that he has either to pick Musalia. Before he picks him, he has to persuade him to join. Because I can see he's the only person who seems to be very, very against Honorable Baba, and for good reason. Because he's the one who in 2017 is like his shelved all his ambition to support Baba as just a head of secretariat. And then after they didn't get it, I think Baba just went to Danzig and forgot him. So he has very good ground to be unhappy. Looking at it, once you have those two issues sorted out, then you have to see, are you getting a running mate for Mount Kenya?
Right.
Now, if you are going to get a running mate for Mount Kenya, then the question will be, are you getting it from the bourgeoisie or the hustlers? You can pick Honorable
Peter Kenneth.
Peter Kenneth. Very cool guy, very good, okay? But viewed as the bourgeoisie, the cool guy, those who eat caviar and steak fish.
Caviar and champagne.
No, caviar is the eggs of the fish. Not those who are eating mgongowazi like Wakinaweda. And there's a way the Mungugwazi team, they coalesce together and they think their savior is the chief chicken seller. So these issues will have to be resolved. Once they are resolved, the president will persuade Honorable Gideon. And I think Gideon will easily support Raila. The president will easily persuade what is this gentleman from
Musalia.
Not Musalia.
Matangula.
Not the other fellow who had come in. The guy of One Kenya and the two, what is his name?
Oh, say it.
Jirongo.
Jirongo, yes. He'll tell Jirongo, Baba, there is some commit here. So the big nut to crack will be Honorable Kalonzo, will be Honorable Musalia. But I think if the president puts his feet down, because this thing involves a lot of money in campaigns and so on and so forth, and the president can put his feet down. And you see, when the feet is put down, even a traffic offense can derail you, just a traffic offense. So it will be based on, are we going to give Sir William a chance? If we gave him a chance, some of us have offended him. If he was to turn his guns on us, what will happen? That will make these people coalesce together. That is what they need. The more the Chief Chancellor is becoming big and larger, the more they are willing. Leave alone the meeting where there was Honorable Martha Karua. When you see Martha Karua and he's saying he's in a coalition team with Mudavadi, that he has repeatedly said those are thieves. It is just for show. It's not for political competition. There are political different persuasions. And the coalition is because Honorable Martha Karua, the Iron Lady, has no love lost for President Uhuru and for William Ruto. She still doesn't understand how they became president and they have been leading and he doesn't understand. And that includes the likes of our big brother Musalia. So that coalition, the one they were talking about, is basically again for fear of the Chief Chancellor and also the bias that they see in President Uhuru. Seeming to be backing Raila. So they are saying, no. It is basically tantrums. But the reality will dawn on them in January, when now the president and the people release and say, these are the opinion polls from the NSIS. Me, you know, Sir William Ruto, the Chief Chancellor, is my friend. We work together. We have just disagreed on a few matters. But if anything, I'll tell my children, go to your president, me, I'll go to my retirement. That reality will make them just say, who is going, Baba? 5 years. So-and-so deputy. Let us divide the cabinet. Right. 3 for me, 3 for so-and-so, 2 for so-and-so. Let us move, and then let us make a pentagon or a hexagon.
As you comment on that coalition, what will this coalition mean for Ruto?
You see, me and you have been here for quite some time.
Yes.
Well, we've seen how politics work. Yeah. I'm always afraid, and I know many other politicians are way afraid for the post-election promises. And many of them, what I will tell you, rarely do they work.
Yeah, who worked? He promised his deputy 50-50, and he gave him 50-50.
He also promised him kumi yangu, kumi yako.
No, kumi yako. That was a political.
You've done that. You will answer that question. But anyway,
Okay, give 30 seconds.
Remember, the pre-election agreement before the UDA and the TNA was basically a matter of discussion on the table. It was not things said in rallies. It was agreed upon when. Kumi, how would the president promise something which he himself cannot grant? He can only support you, but he cannot say, I'll make you president. Otherwise, the making president becomes
we are not seeing that support either.
They have disagreed along the way. At the wedding, people say,
like I'm telling you, that's why most of them may. So what does this coalition, what does it mean for William Ruto? And I think, it's a no-brainer. If there is no unity of political purpose, and should everybody go as things are currently, should One Kenya pursue and Honorable Raila, there's a very high chance, the person that Weda has dubbed the Chief Chancellor will walk straight into the State House. Now, is this something that they would want to, to think? Is this something that in the next few months that are remaining, is this something that you want to give these politicians that thing to really keep thinking about? I think once it's laid down there, like what they're saying, they may actually find a truce. But I still see them still putting up a high premium because they feel And they have started talking. They have started making a message. They have started getting the support that they required to start engaging their followers. And this is what is giving them power and the mindset that they actually can be a coalition that can pull what you call a first one.
Yeah.
Is it possible? Of course, Akisa, it is very possible. We may wake up August something and we say, hala, One Kenya Alliance has taken over power. Yet in politics, me and you and Weda were here. When Weda was calling me and telling me there's no way Donald Trump can be president, ask him now. You see, things happen that you do not expect. And before you say cut and a half, the person they think. So I think they've gotten into this mindset that, you know, we can do it. Forget Honorable William Ruto. Forget Honorable Raila Odinga. Let us talk about One Kenya Alliance. Let us push ourselves to the ballot. Let us talk. Let us make the coalitions of the willing. And if we are able to amass these numbers, this is what these two gentlemen have done anyway. So they have their regions, yes. And I think some of the seats that they've gotten have actually propelled them to realizing that, you know what, we can do this. If Matungu and Kabuchai is anything to go by, they took these seats from ODM. And guess what? It has actually been giving them that political push that we just need to put our house in order and everything else will follow.
I'll just talk about the battle for Mount Kenya shortly. One Kenya Alliance, if they decide to go all the way, there's some things that are very critical to winning a presidential election in this country. Political clout, financial muscle, the state even.
That's true.
And the votes, the people. Do they have that?
I think to an extent, Bonaido will tell you they have some people who have the means within One Kenya Alliance. They have what you call, I mean, that's the regions that they come from. They can pull numbers here and there. When it comes to Mount Kenya, I think they may be a little bit late. And the reason why I'm saying a little bit, Mount Kenya is already, it's already, you can see who are the leading lights in Mount Kenya. But can they make a dent? Of course they can make a dent. You know, and it depends. What message are they bringing to the people? Who will they pick? Because let me tell you, if in any case, and this is the beauty about politics sometimes, is the magic in it. By hypothetically, if Honorable Raila was to pick somebody not from Mount Kenya, and Deputy President picks somebody else who is not from Mount Kenya, and One Kenya Alliance, probably Musalia Mudavadi becomes the presidential candidate, and he goes ahead to pick Martha Karua. Things may actually change within the mountainous region. There are people sometimes within that mountain who feel, this person will speak on our behalf. Sometimes it may not be that all the time, but you have people who will vote just because Martha Karua is there. So is this something that they need to think critically as they carve and as they, you know, they put together that fabric of how they want to run their political agenda? I think there is something in their back burner. And this, I believe, in their boardroom meetings, this is what they are talking about. How do we engage? Who will be in what position? Because, I mean, you have two positions. At the end of the day, those are the grand positions, as I call them, the president and the deputy president. But what will happen to the rest? All right, there are so many things. I had somebody mentioning the other day, well, if they don't pick Kalonzo, Kalonzo can become the Speaker of the National Assembly. I mean, is this something that Kalonzo would want to take? Probably, you never know. You know, anything as long
someone else would ask,
you're not relegated. Yeah, no, sometimes, you know, to be relegated out of government, sometimes it's a huge punch.
And they've been in the cold for quite some time.
Exactly. They can't afford. They can't afford that. But sometimes, you know, I always sometimes admire the former MP for Westlands, Fred Gumo. Personally, I never saw it coming when he said, I'm retiring from politics. And he said, you know what, I'm served. And, you know, I'm exiting. We've seen people do that. We saw the former Nyachai, people who resigned from politics. So would the likes of Kalonzo say, you know, if we don't get it this time, we'll retire from politics? I don't think so.
We have only about 20 minutes to go. The Mount Kenya region still seems to be some have termed it as they seem to lack direction. Everybody fighting to be a spokesperson for the region in some way, perhaps because we're still not seeing a definitive presidential candidate from the region. We're seeing Kiraitu Murungi has also launched his party. We have the TSP party. We have what Moses Kuria is doing, what Martha Karua is doing. The list is endless. And leaders continue to make forays to Mount Kenya. We saw what Raila did there the other day. William Ruto was in Kirinyaga this weekend. This battle continues to mutate into different things, but the same at the same time. How will this end for the region with all these little parties and caucuses therein?
I think what is clear is the Mount Kenya region, especially the Kikuyu nation, one thing is very clear to them, very clear, and they are not making a pretense over it, that they are not seeking to be the 6th president. They're very clear. The Kikuyus are very clear that you talk to them, they are talking about we want somebody to make us running mate, we want somebody to take care of us. They are not saying we need. If we don't get it, we are going to cry. They are not going to cry. So that is very clear. These other gentlemen and ladies who are jostling, they are jostling so that they are relevant. And you don't become relevant and strong by just forming a party. There are many other things. So my brother, my big brother, Honorable Justice Muturi, it's a big name, big cloud. It's only my bond with him. Instead of starting at Old Saints Cathedral, he went to the forest. We didn't lay hands on him. He went to some people to lay hands on, and we said, these ones, we rebuke that ceremony in Jesus' name. Otherwise, he's a great guy. He's a gentleman. He could have been very senior up there. Not the president, because the lawyers want the presidency. The Luos want it. The Kalenjins was a repeat. And so all these things. So you look at it and you will be able to say, they want to say that with our numbers, we want to count. And we are laying stake to the running mate. We want to be number 2 in preparation again for number 1. Now, these leaders who are making fury, the only person who would easily have gotten it easy is Honorable Musalia Mudavadi. He is a fairly acceptable failure.
Correct.
Unlike Baba, he is fairly acceptable with the Kikuyus. It is only that he has been pounded. Mpaka is still down there, and they continue to pound him instead of propping him up. For now, 60% of the Kikuyu nation seem to be behind the chief chicken seller.
What statistics show that?
Tari.
What research shows that? What
don't look at research. You look at...
You can't just throw around numbers.
Now, let me tell you, Madam Akisa, some of us, you can walk to church and you see the crowd and you say, Sadaka from these people will be about this much. Please,
but that is
allow me to tell you that there are things you discern, the power of discernment. How do you discern it? You look at how enthusiastic when those people go. When OKA goes to Mount Kenya, you look at how enthusiastic, and then you look at various spots. That is observation, because good knowledge comes from good observation. You look at how when Honorable Raila goes, how they behave. You look at how when the chief chicken seller goes, how they behave, how enthusiastic the crowd is. It's not just the numbers. You can, let me give you a test. If you take a goat to a market, on one corner you have a goat you're selling, and on the other corner you have a hyena somebody is selling. Which side will have more people? Likely the hyena side will have more people. But is it that they want to buy the hyena? No, curiosity. So you look at the crowd, but you also look at how enthusiastic they are. Then you say, the man is popular here. I've played politics. I've run for elections. I've seen that places you go, people come because they know weather is very generous. When they comes there, but you can see them. You say, Hawa. They are not with us. But there are also other areas that you go there and you say, Apple. We have done. And it works out well. So for now, I can see that the leading preference of, especially I talk about the Kikuyu nation and part Meru nation, is the chief chicken seller, followed by Honorable Raila. Why? Because those who are backing up Raila, first of all, those who love the president think that the president is backing Honorable Raila, so they are with him. And then there are others, they are old names, they are old. But the silent candidate who, if it was backed, if it was the overall candidate, would easily get the Mount Kenya votes ahead of Sir William Ruto is Musalia Mudavadi. So looking at it overally, if the chief chicken seller was to add a running mate from there, equal taboo for these other people. Now you're talking about OKA. One thing, the first problem, the first hurdle they have to pass is between Musalia Mudavadi and Kalonzo Musyoka. Who is the flag bearer? Kalonzo has said, I'll be a fool, I'll be a what? Mad to back anybody. You understand? Now that's a problem. He said that in 2007, 2005, 2006. He told Raila, hey, eventually he left.
Yes.
And they both collapsed.
No, he became vice president.
He
became prime minister.
Yes, but the prime ministership came through agitation. It didn't come easily. It was agitation. We were there.
No, he didn't agitate. He didn't agitate. You people were throwing stones while he became vice president.
But had he remained, had he remained,
he would have been throwing stones with him.
No. Had he remained with Raila, they would have defeated Honorable Kibaki by about 1.5 million. There would have been no violence.
Yes.
Had he joined Kibaki before, there again would have been no violence. Kibaki would have won re-election. After 5 years, he would have tried to back. So this flip-flopping, if he brings it again in OKA and say this, this and that, it will bring a problem.
I guess I will tell you something about Mount Kenya, and I want you to listen to this because many people sometimes don't fail to get it. You remember in 2002, and Mount Kenya has always done this. First of all, don't be cheated, they don't have a spokesman. Currently, as we speak, His Excellency the President is still the spokesman in Mount Kenya. Trust me. Any place he goes, people will listen to him. They still consider him, even at this point, the spokesman. And you will remember when they were fighting it out politically with Moi Kibaki. Mount Kenya did not even listen to him. It's not that they hated him. They just didn't think at that particular point he was the man of the people from Mount Kenya. But they preserved him, all right? They went to say, Kibaki is our spokesman, he is the man. But they propped him up. As Kibaki was exiting, he became, they actually gave him. So, we may right now not, many people are asking, so who's going to be, who's going to be? Mount Kenya people will identify their spokesman. This one I can guarantee. With time, before we get to August, you will see. And they'll start doing it the very same way they've done throughout the years. They'll find, you'll just find somebody. It could be anybody. It could be Peter Kenneth. It could even be Anwar Igoro. You never know. But they will prop. The thing is, which I want you to get this evening, is that they will identify somebody. Before the next election, Mount Kenya will have a spokesman. That one we can take to the bank. So sometimes, when I hear when they're saying Mount Kenya wamepotea sana, they are not that lost. But one thing I'll agree with him, is if the elections were to be called today, the person that he has dubbed the chief chicken seller would take the entire mountain, the highest of numbers. Yeah, that's a given. That's a given. But again, we still need to wait and see. And the reason why I keep saying we need to wait and see is when it comes to the running mate. That in itself will be another challenge that may actually change our dissection and our analytical views. Whoever our current frontrunners pick may change the dynamics of Mount Kenya.
But then, so what we are saying tonight is everyone who's interested in the presidency will be safer with a running mate from central Kenya.
It's not safer, it's the numbers.
No, personally, I would
it's the numbers.
But then, so
it's the numbers.
How much of Mount Kenya do you need to be able to clinch the seat?
If I was advising Raila's team, for me, it still remains one, to get hold of Musalia Mudavadi. Make sure that Musalia Mudavadi is in. And better still, as his running mate. make sure Kalonzo Musyoka is in. And they make sure that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is either neutral or backing him. Because he needs just about 20% or 20 to 30% from Mount Kenya to add to his original vote tally, which has scampered. He has scampered the vote tally. He needs to recollect it, put it. Then he says, the son of Jomo, Wangina, just help me to get 30%, and we will fix the chief chicken cell. How will he also do it? He will say, pentagon or hexagon. The whole of Kenyans are this side, but the chief chicken seller is alone. You understand? If I was advising the chief chicken seller, I would tell him, my dear brother, go and tell this lady called Anwai Guru. Watch our wengine. Just pick this one as your running mate. The women will be saying Sigalagala. The Kiku nation also have seen her. She's a formidable lady. Leave alone now the areas, the dents here and there, and sometimes her ropokering saying, rent a Kiku, all this. But she is a formidable. There is something also in the air that we also want a woman president. He is there. Yes, true. In fact, we can't believe that Tanzania has gone ahead of us, and America is also. So, what do I say? I say that will excite the women generation. It will excite the Kikus, not because she's a woman, but she's a strong woman. She's as strong, not as strong as Martha Karua. Martha Karua is very strong, but hard. So she generates fear. She's good, she's brilliant, she's firm. You can rely on her, but she generates fear.
Indeed.
Anwai Guru, performer, strong, good, but when you see her, you see a lady, you see one that you can ask for a date, and that's what you need at the political level. So, looking at all these things, Baba has a chance, only if he comes down. Instead of sending delegation to go and meet some people near the mountain first, he should have sent elders to go and talk to Musalia, to go and tell them, the son of Mululu. Oh, my brother. The last time we combined, we got this thing. It is only that they took it from us. Now, let us get it. I promise you 5 years to take over. And the elder, they need to do that before they struggle with the mountain. The mountain is as steep as it is. The only person who has tried to make it easy is the son of Ngina. You understand that? But the son of Ngina also will not stick his neck when the mountain is too stiff. He will sit back and say, I'll give you a few dollars to run your campaign. I'll also make sure that the red card is always in your favor. Anytime it is in favor of Raila. If Honorable the Chief Chief is going to win, we raise the red card so that you try. But if with all this, you don't get it, I will sit back and say, let Kenya be great. As I thought you said, the nation is bigger than an individual. So start with the people that made you big. Get them, then add. But for now, there seems to be running for the Mountaineer more. Yet the lawyers are there. Quite a huge voting block. They are there, waiting for Raila to go and pick them. And he's not picking.
You see, I think when it comes down to the wire, and Weda has actually trying to, to bring the pertinent issue on the ground. I think the president will take the absolute position. And this is where his first and foremost focal thing that I feel every time I see him talking is I can bet he wants to leave, and he's trying to do his best to leave a country that is united. That is the prayer of any leader who is, coming to the end of their term. And the other thing I feel, and I can see him running, is to really finish most of the projects that he started. And once he's able to do that, I think he'll have tried to come so down to the wire of his scorecard. Half of the things that he promised he would do. And that is why sometimes when I go around and I see, these roads coming up, like I was telling you last week, the South and even the roads in Mashinani, electricity, how it has come, the stadiums that we are seeing coming up, that just goes on to tell you that this is a president who really wants to be counted among some of the best presidents that we've had. In the future, I know we will have presidents who will do far much better, who will go over and beyond probably what most of our former presidents have done. But as for now, I think he wants to be remembered as somebody who took a country that, you know, was so torn apart, coming from 2007, 2008, that they were able to bring about, to glue the company together, the country together, and say, you know what, we have at least delivered.
Okay.
You know,
finally on this, what are the risks of President Uhuru Kenyatta outrightly supporting either candidates, and especially for the presidency next time?
I would hope he doesn't not take that bait, because it may just, I mean, two scenarios, obviously. One, if he was to back somebody up and it comes positive to the fruition, then he'll be a very happy retired president. And sometimes, you know, same way we saw with Kibaki. So it will play to that advantage of him saying, you know what, we probably made the right decision. And the person that he actually supports goes ahead to do greater things. He will have, it would have actually, his support will have actually paid dividends. If it does, if it goes the otherwise, then you're looking at another scenario of what we saw in 2002 with the former president, the late President Moi. And it's not a good picture. And that is why the safety place is to just be neutral for him.
Support chini ya maji.
Yes. So those are the two options. Okay. And it may go either way.
All right.
If the right decision he's made and the candidate becomes president, it will be a hooray for him.
Okay. But it's a catch.
Of course, it's a catch-22.
Yeah.
It's a catch-22.
All right. Yourself too. Risks in the president outrightly supporting a presidential candidate next year?
Personally, I don't see a lot of risks. Let's not compare it with 2002. 2002, I think the only mistake Baba Moi did was to come out late.
No.
When it was late.
No, he came out early.
And that lateness, he allowed people inside to coalesce. In fact, if he had started a year earlier, defeating Baba Moi would have been difficult. No. Even Kenyans knew. So when the president decides to back, the risks are as follows. One, if he backs on a Braila, obviously it will appear he betrayed Ruto. He's not a man that you can count on that. He has betrayed his friend. Unless he comes out to say clearly, the reason why I am not backing my brother is this. So he moves out of innuendo, insinuations, to now say clearly, I loved my brother, I really wanted my brother to succeed me, but this problem has made me not back him. So people will weigh. If it is a good reason, they say, anyway, it could have been right. Or if they say, no, that's just because you can't rely on him. Backing Raila, on the other hand, he will have shown the Luos what the Luos have really been waiting for. They're saying, this Jaramogi was betrayed by your father. So you would have paid an old debt.
A political debt.
Old. Now, the only risk is if he does not win, if Baba does not win and the chief chicken seller wins, then he will have to stay in retirement a bit quietly. Quiet. But we will be there if you try to harm him. Some of us will be there to say, no, don't joke with the son of Gina. But that will be. Otherwise, you look at the handshake, which he worked, and what is the big result? We are quiet.
That's true.
There are no demonstrations. There are no stones. Parliament is relatively quiet. Not because the constitution has been changed or anything big has been done, just because Baba said, poor. Power with the son of Gina. Now, that kind of power has enabled us to walk through the corona. So, either way, the president is in a rock and a hard place. But as a man, and a great man, and a great president, he has to make choices. He can't just leave us to go under Jirongo president. No.
All right. I want to take a quick look at a bite. There's something we need to talk about, but not too much time, so we'll say it as we close remarks. allies of Deputy President William Ruto directed their guns this time round on Chief Justice Martha Koome over a committee on election preparedness. I want us to take a look at what they said as we get their closing remarks here.
Jana kulikuwa na Chief Justice ambaye ni mama wetu tunampenda Martha Koome. We want to say that the preparation of elections is okay, but the stakeholders and players, you must know your rightful place.
You cannot sit, and more so with ministers and people who have already declared their presidential preference and candidates.
I was attacked for attending a meeting of intergovernmental stakeholder meeting to plan the preparedness of our institutions for the coming general elections. The Judicial Service Act gives me the mandate to be the link for the judiciary with other government agencies and other arms of government.
The Chief Justice says...
All right, just quickly taking a look at what some of the UDM members there said and the reaction by Chief Justice Martha Koome. Perhaps this put her in a tight spot.
No, very quickly. First of all, you know, and I've gone around, and there was a time the former Chief Justice you know, used to issue presses. And I was so against it because, you know, in many jurisdictions, a Chief Justice does not go to the camera and start issuing press conferences. But now, this is something very different. Lady Justice Martha Koome, our able Chief Justice, she actually has a right, and she supported the Judicial Act to actually sit in the intergovernmental. I think the problem with many politicians is who is in that meeting. I think that is what is bringing, that's where the issue is. So
because this meeting has the likes of Dr. Matiang'i.
Exactly. That is where the issue is. It is not that the Chief Justice is there. The problem is you're sitting with people who have already, you know, shown that they are not going to be partial. But that's what we said. I can understand, fully understand, the fact that the Chief Justice had to write back and explain. That was a very good thing, and I give her an A for doing that. It's the best way to go. It was the right thing to do. You know, I totally, fully understand why she did what she did. But as you can see, Akisa and Bonaveda, I think you people need to guide us. We need to start talking about the over-politicization of our institutions, because this is what is coming out. Every institution will look at it, independent or not. There is this clamor, Akisa, that everything is so politicized.
Because our elections are a do or die.
Exactly. That sometimes we are actually covered to even talk about things in the light of fairness. Okay. So I understand where
let's get the last thought there as we wrap up.
Let me say, number one, Hon William Ruto is the Deputy President. As a Deputy President, I would urge you and your lieutenants to avoid attacking your counterparts. You are a little tiff with your president, which you people need to come and tell us, those who are in Jubilee, what happened. Should be, first of all, attacking the Chief Justice in public like that, allowing those people, undermines the confidence that is being built on the judiciary. What happened in 2007? It was people who said, and he was in that team, saying, we are not going to court. Now, anytime somebody says he's not going to court, he's saying, I'm coming to cut your neck. So that should be left out. Number two, the judiciary has something to do with the judicial election preparedness.
Yeah, they sit in
that is, last time they had 188 cases because of the preparedness, the way they were prepared for it, rules and all these things together, it was handled. Thirdly, election is a do or die for this country. It can wipe this country. It can wipe this country, and therefore there's need for all these organs to meet. They are not talking about it.
Totally, I agree.
Finally, Brother Ruto, there are only 7 judges in the Supreme Court. Don't lose them one by one. Don't lose them. You've already lost Martha Karua, you lose her friend, and the presidential election will end up there. I am advising as your brother.
All right.
Don't lose them.
Okay, that's how we wrap it up. Gentlemen, not much time left. We are actually overrun by a few minutes. But thank you very much. We do this again next Sunday.
Of course.
As we take a look at the politics of the week. I wish you a great week ahead. A blessed one.
Oh, he was making fun of me because
Yeah,
I'm wearing.
and
No, he's not chairman.
No.
I attended a consecration of a long-time friend.
Great.
He
Congratulations.
has become a
to
bishop.
him. Congratulations.
John
to him.
Kitonga is now
Thank
a
you
bishop.
very much.
We wish him well.
Thank you very much. Gabriel Muduma, Ambrose Weda, gentlemen. We do this again next Sunday. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for staying with us on the show, commenting, Twitter, on our text lines. We'll do this again. I'll see you tomorrow night on Kivumbi 2022. I am Akisa Wandera. Have a good night.
This is KTN News.